Hello guys, this is Steno for All YouTube channel. Here we provide you Hindi or English shorthand dictations at different speed. Today I am going to provide you English dictation at the speed of 80 which will help you in various Steno skill tests. 80 word per minute shorthand dictation. Start. Now it is official. India has managed to become the global leader in the number of new daily cases of COVID-19 and the worst performing of all major economies during the pandemic so far. How did we manage this double feat? Not through acts of God, but because of the incompetence and apathy of our current leadership. Data on the decline. The estimated 24% GDP contraction in April June 2020 compared to the previous year is the worst performance among G20 economies and even compared to other South Asian countries. But these numbers are likely underestimates because they are based on information from the formal or organized sector extrapolated to informal unorganized activities. The actual decline is probably worse. Physical indicators such as the index of industrial production covering registered manufacturing declined by more than 20%, but ground reports indicate that unorganized manufacturing declined by much more. Many micro, small and medium enterprises MSMEs in manufacturing and services are still closed or functioning at a small fraction of their capacity. Wage incomes are falling more sharply than GDP because of the combination of employment declines and falling wage rates. There is other bad news in the GDP data. Every sector other than agriculture declined sharply, especially the more employment intensive sectors. The good Rabi harvest and very good monsoon provided some respite in agriculture, but with incomes down, farm prices are unlikely to revive and ensure sufficient returns for cultivators over the year. Government consumption expenditure increased by about 16% over the same period in the previous year, but since total investment fell drastically by around half, it is likely that public investment also fell, and gross value added in public administration, defense and other services fell by more than 10%. Around 90% of this is salaries. Central government salaries have not fallen, so the squeeze must have fallen on state governments. Many of them have probably frozen or delayed salary payments. Grave distress. Meanwhile, the pandemic continues apparently unabated. All talk of flattening the curve as wishful as the green shoots in the economy that official spokespersons keep saying has vanished, replaced by the completely meaningless indicator of recovery rates, which are bound to improve with more cases. The brutal national lockdown generated economic collapse even before the disease had spread much. Instead of testing, tracing, isolating, and treating, which is costly but is still the only effective way to deal with this disease, the central government shut everything down across the country without warning. Then it provided no compensation and almost no social protection to those around 80% of workers who lost livelihood. Migrant workers were forced to return in terrible conditions to their homes, where they have unwittingly spread the disease in rural areas with poor health facilities. Working people have been impoverished and debilitated by lack of nutrition because they have been less able to afford food. Now they are being told to go back to work, mostly at lower wages, even as the risk of disease has grown exponentially. What is more terrifying is that this is still just the beginning. There is little reason to believe that this awful trajectory will be halted unless there is a major change in government strategy on both health and the economy. The downturn is definitely extending into the current quarter and probably the rest of the year. So, we are staring at the biggest economic crisis in independent India. Blow against state. Lack of demand is a crucial reason for this. Both consumption and investment were declining well before the pandemic struck. Thereafter, despite the enormity of the economic collapse, the government's relief responses have been pathetically small, barely touching the hundreds of millions of people affected and with little impact on aggregate demand. The halting steps taken on increasing liquidity have been effectively useless. Bank credit has declined overall, and other than favored large companies, all types of or rovers have received less bank credit. The most disgraceful treatment has been of state governments. Despite the centralizing imposition of the National Disaster Management Act, there was almost no coordination. State governments have been forced to do all the heavy lifting of dealing with the health crisis and the economic effects of the pandemic on their own, even as the center has denied them resources to do this effectively. The center is even denying the states their legal dues of the Goods and Services Tax (GST) compensation cess. The reneging of a contractual promise could spell the end of what has been a poorly conceived, badly planned, and worse implemented GST. The consequences of this stingence will be felt directly by citizens. Most state governments front ended their expenditures for the entire year to deal with the crisis and is now running out of money. Unlike the center, they face hard budget constraints and gave up their revenue.